What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week, we're reviewing a sauce named Clark and Hopkins Calabria sauce. Clark and Hopkins was started by Brandon Clark and Don Hopkins. They make sauces that are inspired by different places around the world. So they have such flavors as Laos, Oaxaca, and even exotic Texas. The city they're out of is Richmond, Virginia. A little bit about Richmond, Virginia. It is the home of the first electric streetcar. I wonder if it blew up like Tesla's did. It is named after the English town of Richmond, which is actually the town in Ted Lasso. So it's a real city. Richmond, the U.S. one, not the British one, it was the Confederate capital, a.k.a. Loserville. Famous people from this area include Amy Mann, formerly of Till Tuesday, who is aged incredibly well. She's also gone on to do many other soundtracks on her own as just Amy Mann. Wes Borland, guitarist for one of my favorite groups of all time. Kidding. Shirley MacLaine, Leslie Bibb, the ever incredibly handsome Warren Beatty, and Tim Legler. Now let's look at the packaging. Clark and Hopkins always have this style. So first of all, the logo is always a pepper with Clark and Hopkins on it. The color scheme is the only thing that changes. So it always has these two bands, which has the logo and then has the name of the sauce in it. This one is Calabria, and it even has like the major chilies in there because it is inspired by the Calabria region of Italy, which is the toe. I guess they put a Roman on here. It says, at Clark and Hopkins, we study different regions of the world and capture their cuisine in our bottles. Calabria, also known as the toe of Italy's boot, is abundant in historical and culinary roots. This spicy, sun-drenched region inspired us with its Calabrian chili peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, olives, and fresh basil. Benvenuti in Italia. Pair with pizza, pasta, soups, stews, seafood dishes, grilled vegetables, and omelets. So the ingredients include, so there's quite a few of them here. So there's red bell peppers, water, red wine vinegar, garlic, onion, red habanero pepper, black olives, sun-dried tomatoes, red jalapeno peppers, diced tomatoes, Calabrian chili pepper flakes, raisins, salt, shiitake mushroom powder, and spices. There's quite a few different ingredients here, actually. Like I don't think we've done in grapes, raisins, and I don't think we've done which other one was there? Shiitake mushrooms, but the one I want to talk about is the Calabrian pepper. It's the namesake, right? A little bit about the Calabrian pepper is it is native to Calabria, which is again the toe of Italy's boot. It's a bulbous pod, and it's red when it matures. It actually goes through the stages of green, yellow to red. It can be used raw or cooked. It doesn't matter. It's an excellent source of vitamin C, vitamin A, B7, and potassium. And the Scoville range is between 25 to 40K. So probably like slightly hotter than Serranos, but not up in the habanero region. And they can be pickled or dried to use as flakes. So I'm pretty sure you've seen these because I think any pepper flakes, like red pepper flakes, are probably Calabrian peppers. Before we get any further, let's hear from this week's sponsor. Why settle for a venti-sized coffee drink? Some of us need a lot of coffee to get through the day. Here at That's a Latte Coffee, our sizes range between 32 and 96 ounces. We still serve all the traditional cappuccinos, mochas, and of course black coffee, in addition to our lattes. Our scones are football-sized to match. That's a Latte Coffee. The pick-me-up in a much bigger cup. Now for the moment of truth. It's very vinegary. Red wine vinegar is one of the main ingredients. I wanted to say you could smell garlic in it, but so there you could smell other things in here, but the main thing is vinegar. It almost smells like a tomato sauce, like a tomato, like a sauce you'd use for pasta. All right, this thing is like a reddish brown. It almost does look like a pasta sauce. So let's see what this is like. All right, so it is rather thick, actually. I mean, this just looks like a tomato sauce. More like a arrabbiata, which is the Italian sauce that you make when you add red pepper flakes to it. So as you can see, it looks like ragu. I don't know. This does clock in at 15,700 SHUs. It is thick and chunky like a good chunky tomato sauce. It does have a lot of tomatoes in it, so I expect it to taste like an arrabbiata sauce. So let's see if this passes the test or not. Cheers. Interesting. You actually feel the burn a little bit later, but it's at the tip of the tongue, which is weird because I don't know where Calabria pepper is supposed to hit, but this one felt a little bit slower coming on, but it hit more in the middle or the tip of the tongue, which you would typically get from a jalapeno. This did have a jalapeno in it. It also did have habanero, so that would be in the back of the tongue. It's a lightweight sauce, but yeah, it does taste like a tomato sauce. This is the perfect complement if you don't have red pepper flakes or you want to add a little bit more sauce rather than flakes. This is the sauce. Like I say, it's a lightweight, but bordering on the edge of middleweight. It's just in the low end of middleweight. You could taste the Calabria pepper. It does taste like red pepper flakes, which I've always liked the flavor of. The tomato's not so overwhelming, but it does taste like a pasta sauce. Coupled with the garlic, the onion, mushroom, this is the perfect thing to go with pasta. I'm still going to say garlic reaper is the best thing to put with pasta, but this is really good too. Oh, this is like a natural with pizza, pasta, anything that's tomato based or that has like an Italian flavor to it, or Italian, or you want to give it that Italian zest. This is the perfect sauce to go with it. I wish it actually had more like oregano, but nonetheless, it's still a very flavorful sauce. Again, I would use it on anything that has a tomato, like a red sauce. So pastas, pizzas, if you want to dress up like a bear chicken breast or something like that, this would be a great addition to it as well. Very flavorful. Would I have this in my normal rotation? No, this would be a hold. I'm going to use this sauce, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to readily have, on tap. So, but nonetheless, it's a good flavorful sauce, especially if you want to jazz up your pasta sauce a bit. Next week, I'll be reviewing a sauce by Karma named Scorpion Disco. That one's going to be a hot motherfucker, so tune into that one if you want to see me sweat. Until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.